Hi, everybody. Washington State Personal Injury Attorney Matt Dubin here for our next installment of FAQ Friday. FAQ Friday, as you know, is where I will answer any questions that you've got about car accidents, auto insurance, personal injury claims, anything regarding the civil justice system. I'm doing this as a service to you. I know that this isn't really stuff that they teach in school, and I want to be a resource to you, whether you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, or you're just concerned about car insurance coverage for your teenage kids, or if you know somebody who has an issue involving personal injury, I'd like to be a resource for you. Just a reminder, we've got an ongoing contest right now on Facebook on both our Seattle and our Everett pages, where we are giving away a Britax car seat. This is a front-facing booster seat. It's a really great car seat, and so go check us out on Facebook, either our Seattle page or our Everett page or both, and follow the instructions to enter to get your car seat. Okay, so let's get right to it. We've got two questions today. The first is from Priscilla, who asks, what happens if I get hit by a car who has no insurance? And this is really one of the most common questions that I get. I've actually addressed it, I think, in the very first FAQ Friday some time ago. It's worth repeating. I will refer you back. And by the way, we're going to have all of our FAQ Friday videos archived. You can click on the video link on our page on Facebook, see them that way. We're going to add them all to our YouTube channel. So you can go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, and you'll get all these videos also. And we're also working on putting together an archive on our website. So we've got an entire page dedicated to video FAQs. And this question will certainly be answered there. The answer to the question is, if you really want to be protected in the event that you are hit by an uninsured driver, you need to make sure that you have uninsured motorist coverage. That's a coverage that you need to get through your own insurance. In Washington, uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage are bundled together. If you have one, you have the other, but it's really up to you to make sure that you're protected. Even though here in Washington, the law requires that drivers carry at least $25,000 of liability insurance, the reality is that nearly 20% of drivers on the road don't have insurance. And if you get hit by one of those uninsured drivers and you don't have uninsured motorist coverage, your only recourse is to take them to court, get a judgment against them, and then try to collect it, either through garnishing their wages or having the sheriff seize their assets and auction them off. And the reality is you're unlikely to ever see a penny of that. So now, similarly, if someone only has $25,000 of insurance and you've suffered a serious injury, they are underinsured. And so your UIM, coverage will cover you both if the person who hits you is uninsured or underinsured. So check your auto insurance, speak with your agent, call them up, max out your uninsured and underinsured coverage. People sometimes ask me, how much should I get? And the answer is as much as you can afford. Really, this is to protect you. And you never know what's around the next corner. I've met some people just this week who have been terribly, terribly injured in serious accidents. And one of them had no uninsured motorist coverage at all. The person who hit him had $25,000 of liability coverage. So that's all he can get. And it's really a tragedy in situations like that. So get your uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage. The next question is from Jenny, and it has to do with the independent medical examination, or an IME. And the question was, my insurance company is requesting an IME. What does this mean? Well, I could talk about this for a long time, but I'll try and keep it brief. IME, the initials IME stand for independent medical examination. But in reality, what it should be called is insurance medical examination. There are two situations where it comes up. One is when you've been in an accident and your own insurance is paying for your medical bills under your PIP, or personal injury protection coverage. Now, you've got a contract with your insurance company, and one of the things that it requires is it requires you to cooperate with them. So they have a right, as long as they're paying for your treatment, to require you to be examined by a doctor that they choose. That's the insurance medical examination, or the IME. You really have no choice. If you want them to continue paying your bills, you've got to participate in this IME, and the likelihood is that the doctor, look, the doctors that the insurance companies use for these exams, they know where their bread is buttered, right? The insurance companies will keep going back to the doctors who tell the insurance companies what they want to hear. And what the insurance company wants to hear is that they shouldn't pay for any more treatment, that your treatment's not reasonable, it's not related to the accident, or it's related to something else. They shouldn't pay for it. And they'll rely on that, and they'll stop paying. But if you don't go to the exam, then you're not cooperating with them, and they can stop paying anyway. You have a right to have an observer present, and typically we will send someone from our office or a nurse consultant that we hire to go and accompany you to your IME. But if you want them to pay, you need to continue to do it. Now, there's a second kind, which is also called a CR 35 exam. That's Civil Rule 35. That's when you've already filed a lawsuit and you're claiming that you have an ongoing medical condition, that the defendant in that case, the insurance for the person who you're making a claim against, they have a right to have you examined by a doctor. And again, the purpose is to have that doctor testify against you at trial. So there's nothing independent about these examinations. It's an insurance medical examination. Again, in most cases, particularly if you have ongoing problems, you're going to have to participate in this examination, be examined by the insurance company's doctors. They might make recommendations, but it's important to always remember a couple things. When you go to an IME, the doctor is not there to help you. They are not your doctor. They are not there to treat you. They are there to either cut you off from payments by your insurance company, or to provide ammunition to the defendants in a lawsuit to defeat your claims. So, while you don't want to be dishonest, in fact, that's the worst thing you could do, is be, and hold on, these motion sensing lights should come back on. There we go. You always want to be honest. You always want to be honest. But you don't want to get casual and conversational with these doctors. Let them do their examination. Let them take their history and ask questions, and you answer their questions honestly. Whether it's an IME or a deposition, the worst thing you could do is say something that's not true. But as long as you understand they're not your friend, they're not your doctor, and they're not there to help you, you'll at least have your guard up. So you'll be aware, you'll be careful about what you say and how you say it, because it can and will be used against you. The other thing is, don't let them do anything that hurts you or aggravates your condition. If you're in one of these IMEs and a doctor asks you to hold your body in a certain position or lift something that you know is going to aggravate your injury, don't do it. They should tell you that, but you don't have to do anything that's going to aggravate your condition. If you remember these basic things, an IME doesn't need to be scary. They're very common. They happen all the time. Hopefully you've got an attorney on board who can help guide you through this process and educate you on what to expect going into it, and what you should do when you're there. I will just add, if you do have PIP coverage and you go to an IME and your insurance cuts you off, that doesn't mean you're all better. And it doesn't mean you don't need treatment. If you and your doctors have decided that you do need treatment and your PIP carrier cuts you off, there's always other alternatives to get the treatment you need. You can go through your health insurance. You can pay cash. You can get a provider to treat you on a lien and get paid later. So don't let any insurance company tell you you don't need treatment if you and your doctors feel like you do. Nobody knows what you need better than you, and you need to be your own advocate. So whether you have a lawyer or not, that's the case. So Jenny, I hope that answers your question. And Priscilla, the question about uninsured driver, there's a ton of stuff on our website, which is dubinlawoffice.com, about IMEs, and uninsured motorists. And like I said, enter our contest to win the car seat on Facebook. And we will see you next Friday for the next installment of FAQ Friday from me and from all of us here at the law offices of Matthew Dubin. Be safe, and I'll see you next week.